Auckland is preparing for another king tide to hit after the one this morning sparked commuter chaos. Traffic was at gridlock in large parts of the east and north of the city as waves buffeted by strong winds swamped roads, particularly a couple of main coastal routes into the city. Rowan Quinn reports.
The tide hit smack in the middle of rush hour, swamping Tamaki Drive, one of the main roads into the city from East Auckland. Its closure had a flow-on effect for many other parts of the east as drivers looked for another way into town. At Orake train station, tour guide Uli was waiting for a train after finding the waterfront blocked and exhausting all of the sneaky side roads he knew.
I live in Orake. For 40 years I have never seen anything like this. All the little side streets blocked. I knew my little shortcuts to get here. But I saw the only option, because I heard Shore Road is blocked, the only option to get by train to the city.
Traffic was at a standstill in many places and bus stops in the area were overflowing as people waited for buses that were never coming. Patricia's husband tried to get into town and had to turn around, taking half an hour to get home in what would normally be a 2-minute drive. She was frustrated by the lack of information in traffic reports.
We weren't getting that Keeper Road was totally gridlocked. We weren't getting that any of this area was gridlocked. All we were getting was that Tamaki Drive was closed.
Part of the northern motorway was flooded as well as Bucklands Beach, and traffic was extremely backed up to the north of the North Shore. Auckland Transport's Mark Hannon says it did all it could as a flooding hit.
In this situation, we really can't do much about it. It is nature. The alternative for people in that part of the town is to take the trains. They're not affected by the king tides at all, and the train lines do run through those suburbs.
He says preparations are being made for the next king tide, which is due to hit at about 9 o'clock tonight.
We'll have engineers on duty and road crews there. And if the king tide repeats what it did this morning, we'll be closing the road. We're expecting the worst of the situation to be around 8:30, 9 o'clock this evening.
Tomorrow's high tide's due slightly after rush hour at 9:30. Mr Hannon says the winds are predicted to blow the waves back towards the sea, but road closures are possible. I Tamaki Makaurau, ko Rowan Quinn, DNA.